So success really depends on who we are and what stage of life we are at. When you're a child, you want to be an astronaut or a doctor or a fireman, and that looks like that's going to be my life. That's going to be so exciting and successful. Then when you're a teenager, it's like getting into the right college, and then after college, it's getting the right job or a business and getting a nice wife. And so the definition of success continues to change as we go along. And it can be frustrating sometimes because how life, family, society, government kind of push their ideas on us, and it totally changes, and we have to follow what our parents did or what our cousins are doing. Anybody who's successful in the family, we are told emulate that and be that guy, right? And we kind of lose our sense of identity, a sense of who we really are. Because we are all unique, we are all gifted very differently by Krishna. And to understand who we are and what would make us happy takes a little bit of time. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Chatur Varnam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagas. So he has created 4 distinct categories that have combinations of different qualities. The Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra is actually not caste system by birth. It is supposed to give you job satisfaction. It is supposed to give you satisfaction in what you do, how you think, and aligning your emotion, your devotion, and your intellect in the right order to give you satisfaction in what you do and a sense of fulfillment, passion in your activities, in your occupation. So success has many meanings, and it's very different for different individuals. So it's very important to have a very clear conception. Clarity is power, right? What is it really that I want? And generally it's not the what, it is the why that really gives you the clarity. The what is, I want a Ferrari, I want a gorgeous girlfriend or a boyfriend, or I want to live in a certain city, I want to make a certain amount of money. That's the what. But why? Why is this important to you? Do you want fulfillment? Do you want happiness? Is that really where we are going with this? Generally, that is the case. Because, again, the dharma of the soul, which is the intrinsic nature of the soul, is to love and be loved, is to be happy, right? It's to find happiness. That's who we really are, because spirituality is about happiness. So success, no matter how we define it, what we're looking for behind that success is happiness. And the only way we know in this material world of finding happiness is to gratify our senses and our mind. But there is something more than that. As we know, there is a mind and there is a subconscious mind. Beyond the mind, there is the ego. Beyond the ego, even deeper than that, is really who we are, the soul, the spiritual being, having the human experience. Happiness truly comes when that soul is touched and nourished and ignited with something that is spiritual. Whether it's spiritual knowledge, spiritual sound vibration, spiritual food, spiritual association, spiritual entertainment. That's what really deepens the quality of happiness behind the success. There's nothing wrong in being successful in however you want to be successful. You want to have 20 companies and 50 Rolls Royces, go right ahead. But how do you use them? Can you really drive all 50 Rolls Royces in one day? Can you eat more than one plate of food every day? Right? Something to think about. It's not abundance is not against spiritual lifestyle. Abundance is a need. No hospitals would run without money. No temple would run without money. Anything good you need money for it. But it's important how we use it. what is the consciousness behind it? And a lot of times we see that we have a good intention, but it's never good enough because the outcome turns out to be something very, very different. So it's important to have a spiritual conception behind success. Whatever that success is, according to your psychophysical nature, according to how you're wired. Sure, you have your ambition, you have your dream. Great. But then what? What is driving it? What will pull you and push you when you're struggling towards that goal? What is that pull, right? Willpower is actually weak. We see that. 1st of January, we have a resolution. 5th of January, it vanishes magically. So we know that willpower doesn't pull us too far. But if we can have a purpose that is strong enough to pull us in, that makes a huge difference. And that purpose is what is given to us in the great scriptures of the world. For me, it is the Bhagavad Gita. For others, it might be something else. But that purpose in a spiritual aspirant's life is to reconnect with our Creator in loving, unconditional service. And that is called yoga, specifically Bhakti Yoga. And that is what makes us happy. Our soul finds happiness and fulfillment through loving relationships. In fact, there was a Harvard case study done recently where they found that almost 95% of the participants in that experiment mentioned that their happiness was doubled, quadrupled by having the presence of a loved person in their lives, where they spend at least an hour a day of quality time sharing heart-to-heart conversations. So relationships happen really truly. Love really happens truly when we see each other as objects of service. Because love means it's expressed through service. What can I do for you? Right? And the other person should think the same way. What can I do for you? The other side is, what can I get out of you? That doesn't last too long. So success is when we have a happy family. We have our professional aspirations fulfilled. We have our friends, our peers who feel that there is enough reciprocation, as well as our next generation are receiving from us. That fulfills our life. And success has a lot to play to make all of that happen.